following is a presentation of SC State Athletics.
For the second season in a row, the South Carolina State Bulldogs are forced to postpone a home game because of the weather. But with the storms in the past, including a season-opening loss of the Southern Jaguars in the MEAC Challenge, the Bulldogs are hoping brighter days are on the way as they step out of conference to take on an old CIAA foe in the Johnson C. Smith Golden Bulls in the 2017 home opener. Will the Bulldogs rebound from their disappointing loss to the Jags and an unexpected week off? We're about to find out. Coming up next on The Buddy Pough Show.
You're watching The Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football. This week's matchup, the Johnson C. Smith University Golden Bulls versus your SC State University Bulldogs. Our sponsors are the County of Orangeburg, Palmetto Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Regional Medical Center, State Farm Insurance Russ Hewitt Agency, Simmons Funeral Home, Vital Care EMS, and the City of Orangeburg. And now our host, Ernest Robinson.
After the Southern University loss in the MEAC Challenge, Coach Buddy Pough was optimistic his team would rebound. And last week, that didn't happen with the cancellation of the Charleston Southern football game. This week, the Bulldogs opened the home season against Johnson C. Smith, and the Golden Bulls found themselves in the crosshairs of a Bulldog football team hungry to do some good things on the football field.
Well, what day is it? Who we playing? Some of those kind of things are the issues we're having right now. We've got Smith. We finally got this game going again, and we're excited to play. We actually thought when we start hearing the weather news that we'd miss this game and maybe get the first game in, but now as it's worked out, we need to make the best of this. This is Youth Day. This is generally a big crowd for us. Hopefully we'll have a good-sized crowd, and we'll get back to playing good because we got to hurry up and get through this so we can get to Thursday night.
You start talking about this game this afternoon, the second half of 2 weeks ago game against Southern. You started to play well offensively. I'm sure you want to see some more from DeJuan Ford, and he continued that maturation that happened in the second half of that football game.
We played better in the second half. We didn't play good enough, but now you can see some signs and some things that we can build on, and that at that point, is what you try to look forward to. We think that we've got a guy back there now that we can depend on to throw it around a little bit and have a little athletic kind of ability where he can run around some too. But, we've got to get him to play that way consistently from the very beginning. We're looking forward to today. I'm excited about coming out here again and seeing him play again, see what he's going to do. We've got the Tyrese Nick kid kind of loaded and ready to go, the second team guy. Between those two guys, hopefully, we'll see something today that we think that we can work on for the rest of the year.
Last week we saw a running back by committee. I was wondering about LeBron Morris, and would he be back in action, and could he bring a shovel to sort of help that group put some yards up?
Let's hope so. LeBron's back. LeBron, Datron, and Trey Samuels will probably get the majority of the reps. We do have a couple other guys that seem to be kind of taking around in that deal too. But I tell you what now, if we can get our offensive line going, we got a couple little moves that we're making there. We're going to start Jalen Page today. We've got Kendrick Hare ready to go, one of our other guys. We think we've got some guys that may be able to help that front a little bit, give us a little more consistency. That up front group is where we got to really make our difference.
On the defensive side, you played extremely well against Southern, well enough to really win that football game. Talk about the defensive side and trying to develop some depth over there, maybe even so in the secondary.
Well, we played well in the second half, and we didn't play as good as even at that point that I thought we could have played. They kept the ball away from us too long. There are times when I tell my guys, hey, just let them score. Just give us the ball back some kind of way. So, we have some issues that way, but we're starting to get a nice little group of linebackers come along now. Everybody knows that Darius and Deshaun, those guys, Greg Newell, those guys can play pretty good. But Cornelius Walker and Chad Gilchrist, some of those guys, John L. Brown, we got a nice group of young guys come along, and they're freshmen and sophomores. So, I'm excited about seeing those guys play along with. If we can get those kind of guys going to secondary, then we really ought to have a chance to be good for some years to come on defense.
Thanks, Coach. Let's go to Saturday's first half highlights. As Skandrick approaches, it's a high end-over-end kick. Is going to be taken by Gambrell at the 3-yard line on the left side at the 10. He's at the 15, at the 20, hit and brought down at the 18-yard line. Shotgun formation for Terrence Irving. There's a shotgun snap. Irving back to pass, looking long, throwing long. It is over the head of the intended receiver for Johnson C. Smith. Pistol formation for DeJuan Ford. Behind him is Samuel. They give it to Samuels over the right side. Samuels across the line of scrimmage, a positive gain into Johnson C. Smith territory. 2 receivers to the near side, to the right, the boundary side, 1 to the left. Shotgun formation, play action fake. They throw the screen back to the other side. Demontrez Burrows makes the move. Burrows picks up the first down at the 40, goes further forward progress, takes him down to the 35-yard line. Traquan and Quan are to the left. To the right is Burrows. Pistol formation, they give it to Samuels inside. Samuels breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage at the 25, down to the 19-yard line. Shotgun formation now for the quarterback. Dwan Ford, a little out to Demontrez Burrows. Burrows fights his way down to the 10-yard line. Pistol formation now. Football in the center of the field. Bulldogs headed toward the scoreboard here at the Dawson Bulldog Stadium. They give it to Trey over the left side. Trey cuts back at the 5 into the end zone for the score. William Johnson the snap. The hole is good. His toe is in it. It is up, and it is good. So with 11:45 to go here in the first quarter, our score is South Carolina State 7, Johnson C. Smith nothing. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Long snap count. Here's the snap. Handed off inside. Trying to get outside for Johnson C. Smith and going nowhere. Irving in the shotgun. Handoff inside. This is Gambrell across the 25 at the 30. Gambrell fumbles the football on the turf. Picked up by Zafir Kelly. Kelly tried to run with it, picked it up again, dropped it again, but recovers it at the 25-yard line. Split backfield. Dwan Ford. Ford looking to his left, throws out there. A little quick out to Demontrez Burrows. Burrows is slung around, thrown out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. Gentile, a sophomore from Mullins, puts it down at about the 29-yard line, so it's a 39-yard attempt. Gentile puts it down. Skandrick's toe is in it. It is strong, it is up, and it is right down the middle. 39-yard field goal for Tyler Skandrick. Our score at the end of 1 quarter, South Carolina State 16, Johnson C. Smith nothing. Shotgun formation for the Golden Bulls from the 28-yard line, their own. Attacking left to right, 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Back to pass, Irvin. Irvin looking, in trouble. Irvin spins and is brought down right behind the line of scrimmage. That is a sack for South Carolina State. So wholesale substitutions to move forward in. Johnson C. Smith on the center. They hand it off to Watkins trying to get outside. Spun around, brought down to Deshaun Taylor. Boy, Deshaun Taylor is just a monster inside linebacker. Shaquille Crouch just throwing Braxton Gambrell back down on the ground. No gain on the play. Football on the far side as we attack right to left. Back to pass is Ford. Ford looking. Ford steps up in the pocket, got all day to run. And now takes off trying to get to the first down marker. Cuts back at the 45, at the 50. Ford across the 45 of Johnson C. Smith. Nifty running on the part of Dwan Ford. Shotgun formation for Dwan Ford. Back to pass Ford. Plenty of time. Looks. Throws long. Got Traquan DuBose out there. DuBose makes the catch at the 18-yard line. Skandrick says he's ready. There's the snap. Gentile gets it down. His toe is in it. It is up. It is strong. And it is good. So Tyler Skandrick knocks down the field goal from 31 yards out. And at the end of the first half, the score, South Carolina State 19, Johnson C. Smith nothing. Stay tuned to the Buddy Pough Show. When we come back, we'll have the Pough Mental Health Injury Report after these messages.
Our sports medicine services are unique because everything we do is driven by education and by research.
We pretty much take care of all the Midlands. We have all the colleges from USC, South Carolina State, Benedict, Newberry.
Everything is designed to bring our resources closer to the patient, closer to the physician, so we can provide excellent care.
Our goal is to get you into our system and back into activity as quick as we can.
I think patients choose us because of the team atmosphere we have here at Pough Mental Health USC Orthopedic Center.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance, you're also giving one.
Every day, my hip got worse and worse.
The coach's arthritis progressed to the point where his joint was bone on bone. Between the pain and the loss of range of motion, he decided to have the hip replaced here at the Regional Medical Center.
I was walking the very next day. I was going so fast, they said, "Slow down, coach, slow down." It feels great to be coaching again.
The Regional Medical Center. We're changing how you think about health care.
You stumble over a blade of grass. Come on.
Coach, we set the tone in the first half by deferring. Your defense got out on the field first, and I thought it really gave you an opportunity to get your team some stability and get this football game going in the direction you wanted it to go in.
It did, and we generally understand that South Carolina State's about defense first. We like to put those guys out there. They seem to enjoy that. At that point, then we generally get pretty good field position out of it. So those guys went out there and got them stopped and put us in pretty good field position from the get-go.
And we talked about DeJuan Ford, the quarterback, the sophomore from Stevenson, Georgia, got going early. A little short pass he would throw to Traquan DeBose and to DeMontrez Burrows. Really got the offense moving on that first possession.
And we need to get some of those kinds of completions because the easy throws sometimes, you know, the ones that you really feel confident in, and at that point, once you get your percentages up, you can try some of the harder ones. But, you know, that got us going, and when you can mix the run and the throw in, where you can really get some consistent throw balls caught, then you feel real good about going that direction.
One of the things that we were able to do, I thought, and again going back to Ford, was you ran some option, and he took advantage of some opportunities, running the football, made some good decisions, and got some good positive yardage.
Made a couple good plays, and we are developing an option style attack as we are going here. You know, we about, 2 games into it at this particular juncture. I just don't know right now if we can continue to, to keep ourselves healthy that way. That's why we're starting to play the Tyrese Nick kid a little bit, and Marquand Goodman played a little bit at the end, because when you're option baller, you better have some quarterbacks, because you can better bet you might get a little dink or two on those guys.
And we talked about the offense going in and the fact that you would have LeBron Morris back, and LeBron Morris certainly was a difference maker. He didn't get a lot of yards, but he got tough yardage and gave you some inside presence.
And I was excited to see him back out there. We considered maybe even redshirting him. We've got 3-4 guys. We got Trey Samuels. We got Datron James. The Jarris Jenkins guy I think is a good player. So, at some point or other, we got to figure that out, because LeBron's not quite full speed. I didn't think he was quite as good as I seen him, but I was excited to see him back out there. We'll make a decision this week on exactly where we go with his future.
Now, coaches, we got into the first half, after that first possession, we got into the second quarter, and all of a sudden the offense hit a wall that seems like we eventually got out of, but you didn't want to hit that wall.
Yeah, they loaded the box on us and did some stuff that we really, didn't seem to be able to take advantage of. We need to be able to throw the ball over the top a little bit, or throw a little bit different kind of route, and we didn't necessarily have the accuracy, that I would have liked, and we ended up trying to run into some brick walls, and when that happens, you need to be able to throw the football a little bit better.
All right, it's that time on the Buddy Pough Show when we take a look at the Pough Mental Health Injury Report, and unfortunately, the Pough Mental Health Injury Report involved 2 key guys, Coach, on your offensive line, and that's not really a strong suit from the standpoint of depth on our offensive line.
You're exactly right, Ernest. We really couldn't afford to have another injury there, and Robbie Stevenson looks like he may miss a while. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how he comes up after going to bed tonight and getting up tomorrow morning. But Victor Ishmael, our starting center, also had a little bit of a shoulder deal, and we think he'll be all right. We got to, get back into the deal here pretty quickly with a game that's coming Thursday night. So, it'll be interesting to see how many of those guys we can get back going full speed by then.
Of course, Coach, reference in the North Carolina Central game coming up this Thursday night. We're going to take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. When we come back, we'll have the All Heart Plur and more on this episode of the Buddy Pough Show.
Our sports medicine services are unique because everything we do is driven by education and by research.
We pretty much take care of all the Midlands. We have all the colleges from USC, South Carolina State, Benedict, Newberry.
Everything is designed to bring our resources closer to the patient, closer to the physician, so we can provide excellent care.
Our goal is to get you into our system and back into activity as quick as we can.
I think patients choose us because of the team atmosphere we have here at Pough Mental Health USC Orthopedic Center.
Coach, this week's all-heart player, we talked about him last week, that between last year and this year, the football just exploding off his foot. We saw that again on Saturday.
We did. It's really kind of funny me sitting here talking about Tyler Scandard and the great year that he's having. But he's been hitting it great the whole preseason, and he and his battery of sorts, Jay Johnson, the snapper, and
Bobby Gentile.
And Bobby Gentile seem to be really working together in the way where they're comfortable. We got a couple blocked in this game, but if he gets it off, it's going through. So I'm excited as I can be about our new kicker, Tyler Scandard, in his fourth year, making all his field goals almost. Yeah.
Tyler Scandard, the all-heart player this week on the Buddy Pough Show. We'll take a time out. When we come back, we'll have Saturday's second half highlights. The Bulldogs and Johnson C. Smith right here on Fox Sports Southeast on the Buddy Pough Show.
My first thought was, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to live? My second thought was, I needed to live because I thought about my children.
Betty's mammogram showed a lump in her breast. We surgically removed the cancer.
And Betty was referred to Mabry Cancer Center, where she received chemotherapy and radiation therapy.
It was an opportunity to live again.
The Regional Medical Center. We're changing how you think about health care.
Today, I'm cancer-free.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance. You're also giving one.
Our sports medicine services are unique because everything we do is driven by education and by research.
We pretty much take care of all the Midlands. We have all the colleges from USC, South Carolina State, Benedict, Newberry.
Everything is designed to bring our resources closer to the patient, closer to the physician, so we can provide excellent care.
Our goal is to get you into our system and back into activity as quick as we can.
I think patients choose us because of the team atmosphere we have here at Palmetto Health USC Orthopedic Center.
Golden Bulls are poised. They've gotten the signal, and it's all up to Brandon Howard to get us cranked up here in the second half as Howard now approaches, explodes into it. It's a short kick, pooch kick, taking it to the 28-yard line by Jarius Jenkins. Jenkins can run the football, got up to the 37. Out of the shotgun, split backfield. Two Bulldogs are to the left, one to the right. Back to pass, throws it over to the right. Demontrez Burrows breaks a tackle at the 45. He's at the 50. Makes a man miss at the 40, at the 35, at the 30. Still on his feet, down to the 18-yard line. Ruger comes in, steps up on the left side. Demontrez Burrows, a single receiver to the right, two receivers to the left. Play action fake, they're looking left again. Now Dewan steps up in the pocket at the 15, at the 10. Dewan spins down to the 6-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Bulldogs. Austin Ruger in the backfield sets up on the hash as the H-back. Give it inside, touchdown, South Carolina State. Here's a snap. Scandrick's toe is in it, and it is good. So at 9:36 to go here in the third quarter. Our score, South Carolina State 26, Johnson C. Smith nothing.
That he's up 26-0 in his first ever meeting against
Shotgun
Johnson C.
snap.
Smith.
Irvin wasn't ready for it, throws it out there. It is caught right at the 45-yard line. Nice throw and catch. Brandon Howard facing 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Bulldogs block it. What a play by the Bulldog defense coming in, blocking that pump for South Carolina State. That was Janelle Brown, linebacker, redshirt sophomore out of St. Stephen's Timberland High School with the block. Handoff inside. This is LeBron Morris. LeBron breaking tackles, gets up the field. About an 8-yard pickup, LeBron Morris. They put it down at the 22-yard line, so it's going to be a 32-yard field goal attempt. James Johnson's going to snap it. Bobby Gentile's going to hold. Low snap. Gentile gets it down. Scandrick's toe is in it, and it is true. And the score, South Carolina State 29, Johnson C. Smith nothing. Two receivers each way. Football in the center of the field for the Golden Bulls if they go left to right. Quarterback keeper Terrence Irvin wrapped up, brought down, coming in there, making the tackle for South Carolina State. That is number 86 for the Bulldogs. That is Dominguez Wilson, a redshirt freshman. Shotgun formation for Irvin. 3 down linemen. They run it inside, and he is drugged down from behind. Cordell Brown coming in and making the tackle in the backfield. That's a 2-yard loss. Two receivers each way for the Golden Bulls. Irving from the shotgun. Shaquille Crouch just tilts the field when he leans forward at nose tackle at 425 pounds. Cordell Brown over there by him. Back to pass. Irvin, pocket moving, goes up in the middle. Shaquille grabs him and pulls him down. Big Shaq Crouch. The house comes down on the quarterback. It's going to bring up 3rd down, and House is going to come out, and you feel the field just shake when he runs off the field. Joom, joom, joom.
My
joom.
goodness, I mean,
that's a big man. 2nd down and 9. Football on the near side. 2 receivers are to the left, 1 to the right. Shotgun formation. Dewan Ford gives it to Jerris Jenkins off the left side. Jerris puts his head down. Good pickup of 10 yards on the play, and a Bulldog 1st down out of Hunter Kennard High School. Shotgun formation now for Dewan Ford. Hand off LeBron Morris. LeBron Morris with a 8-yard run, almost 10 yards. So DeMontrez Burrows goes into the game for the Bulldogs. Shotgun formation, play action fake. Dewan back to pass, looking long, throwing long. Got Traquan out there, caught, and he holds on to it at the 18-yard line. Traquan Dubose, the redshirt sophomore. Our score at the end of 3 quarters, South Carolina State 29, Johnson C. Smith nothing. Deep safety is Baxter patrolling for the Bulldogs. Shotgun snap, high snap. Herbin throws it out there. It is picked off. What a nice pick. Alex Brown gets his first interception of the season for South Carolina State.
Okay.
Shotgun formation for Therese Nick. Nick with the option. This is what he does. Nick keeps it himself, turns the corner to 30 to 20. Quick pickup down to the 19-yard line. He is cat quick. Shotgun formation for Therese Nick. Handoff inside. Jerry Snow keeps it himself. Starts the pitch and now cuts inside it to 10. Therese Nick down to the 4-yard line. Gentile puts it down. Scandrick's toe is in it. It is up and it is good. So Tyler Scandrick from 27 yards out gets his 4th field goal of the afternoon to make it 32 for South Carolina State. Nothing for Johnson C. Smith from their own 25-yard line. Play act handoff now. Watkins over the left side. Wrapped up, brought down, thrown into the backfield.
The more you get an opportunity to play in regular season games.
There's Hammonds, and it's blocked again. South Carolina State and the Bulldogs, if they can recover it, it's a touchdown. And let me see. The Bulldogs signal touchdown, and they're saying touchdown, South Carolina State. It's 39 for South Carolina State, nothing for Johnson C. Smith. Shotgun formation now for Johnson C. Smith on offense. Back at quarterback, Herbin. Herbin with the pitch in the backfield and tackle for loss. Oglesby and Cornelius Walker for Johnson C. Smith. High snap, inside handoff, and he is wrapped up, brought down. Rod Perry with the tackle inside. Herbin or Irvin?
Oh, my goodness.
That is Jordan Lane. He's in the end zone. Lane, and the football's recovered by South Carolina. Oh, it goes out of the end zone. Bulldogs almost had another touchdown. It's a safety. South Carolina State 41. Johnson C. Smith nothing. Coach, we began with possession in the second half and finally got some production on offense, kind of got back into sync in what you were doing early in the first quarter.
Got going pretty good. Had a big play by DeMontrez Burrows. Got it down, eventually got it in. Robert Stevenson got hurt on that last play getting it in, but you know, it took us a little while to stick it in there. We finally did get it in. At that point, the game was pretty much put away. We wanted to then try to see if we could play, you know, a good many of those guys that we had. So we got everybody in, and at that point, you know, we got it done.
We can talk about a number of guys who were able to come in and play well, but before we go to that, I want to talk a little bit about your special teams, because your special teams on the defensive end, those guys really put pressure on, got a couple blocks, and it's great to see just the effort that they're putting forth, and they're getting rewarded with a safety and a touchdown here today.
You're right. We've got a good little group of freshman linebackers, and those guys are getting a chance to play some, but they're really, are a blessing for your special team. They're big skill guys. Chad Gilchrist from over Johnston, South Carolina, is a linebacker just waiting to be, and Cornelius Walker from right here in Orangeburg. Those guys are good players. And John L. Brown, from down in the lower part around Charleston County kind of way, is also, coming on really nicely. So we've got a nice group of those young linebacker style defensive players that are playing great on special teams for us. And, they blocked 2 punts, one for a touchdown and one for a safety. Those guys can put some pressure on you. Hopefully we can continue to be, productive that way for the rest of the year.
Now, special teams is going to be real important coming up Thursday night. North Carolina Central, last year's defending champions. A lot of people felt that they should have been champions the year before their coach. Talk about Jerry Mack and this ball club and what we'll be facing on Thursday night.
Coach Jerry Mack and the North Carolina Central Eagles have been a real force in this league since he's been there. And Central's putting a lot into it. They've got a nice facility up there that they're filling up to the brim almost every game with people. And they've won our league, or been involved in our league championship now 3 years in a row. And they are really aggressive on defense. They can run the football on offense. They're a little bit of a mystery to us in their skill areas because they've got some of those new guys coming back. But we're gonna get a chance to give a good chance to study them. They don't have a game this week, so they're off this week right before us. So they get a little extra time to prepare for us that way, which is really, a little bit of a blessing for them. But at the same time, I like sometimes when we continues to have to go. I think sometimes our time for us, is the devil's workshop. We sometimes mess it up. So I'm glad that we'll continue to play, because hopefully we'll play better this week than we did this past week after a 2-week layoff.
And I think we'll have to when you start talking about North Carolina Central, South Carolina State. Folks, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Buddy Pough Show. We hope to see you this week up in Durham, North Carolina, when the Bulldogs take on the North Carolina Central Eagles. And, of course, next week right here on Fox Sports Southeast on the Buddy Pough Show.
Thank you for watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football. Our sponsors are the County of Orangeburg, Palmetto Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Regional Medical Center, State Farm Insurance Russ Hewitt Agency, Simmons Funeral Home, Vital Care EMS, and the City of Orangeburg. Join us again next week for highlights of SC State University Bulldogs football.